Hello everyone, back at it again with another video today, right here on the porch in beautiful East Tennessee. Weather's about 80 degrees in February, so very, very warm for February. It seems like the seasons are being confused these past few years. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. So this is going to be an experimental video. We're going to do some shooting, so I got my ears here. And then we're also going to talk about a new holster I bought. So if you guys aren't familiar, if you haven't seen the videos, I'll link them down in the description below. But I just bought a Kimber Micro 9, and I'll show you here. This is my Kimber Micro 9, chambered in 9mm. It's got the beautiful rosewood grips, stainless steel slide, and aluminum barrel. Very, very nice. And then I just now bought a holster for it as well. I don't know if you guys can see that. Excuse my belly here. But this is the DeSantis gun hide holster. I bought this at Bass Pro for, I think, $49. Fits very, very well. I can conceal it very well. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm recording this on an iPhone, and I got the phone against the wall of my house, so sorry about the orientation and stuff. But yeah, this is very, very nice. I can pull it out very well. It's very comfortable leather holster. I'll actually just get it out and I'll show you. Very, very nice, beautiful holster here. And then, of course, you got your Kimber. So today's video is actually not about a holster, but it's about the ammunition that you should be running with this particular pistol. So I've been getting a lot of comments and also I've just been seeing a lot of things on YouTube about the ammunition for the Kimber. So if you own one, it's not a secret that the ammunition can be kind of finicky with these Kimber Micro 9s. And so yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw the video, but I do have a video. I'll link it down in the description below as well, and I'll kind of pin it up here. But I made a video of just kind of my first shots. I was shooting some defense ammo. I was shooting Hornady Critical Defense, 115 grain FTX. That's what I always use for all of my pistols for 9mm. So that's what I was using. And if you watch that video, in the third round, I had a light primer strike. I was like, that's weird. I've never had a light primer strike on any centerfire pistol ever. So that was very, very concerning to me. And I started watching some videos, and I started seeing that, you know, the Kimber, they recommend that you run 124 grain 9mm in these. I was running 115. Now, I've also seen people on YouTube saying that's not true, showing that it can run 115 grain. So I figured, why not do a little bit of experiment today, and we're going to be shooting it. I bought a box of CCI Blazer. This is 124 grain. And then I bought another box of just standard Winchester white box in 115 grain. And we are going to see the difference. Now, I'm not going to waste all this ammo because I'd like to do some plinking off camera with the target. We're just kind of plinking out in the open today. We're not really doing anything crazy. Because I've got some other stuff to do. I didn't really have time to set up target or whatever. But so anyway, I want to see the difference between these 124 grain and the 115. Now, I've got a theory. My theory is that it will run 115 grain, but the issue that I think that I had was maybe it was a magazine seating issue, a cartridge seating issue when I loaded the rounds yesterday, or it could be due to the fact that this gun just does not like defense rounds like Hornady Critical Defense. So we will definitely test here. I think I'm going to do 2 to 3 magazines of each. Now, I do want to make a quick disclaimer before we start shooting. I did not load these up all the way. These are 7-round magazines. I didn't load them up all the way because this is a very, very new firearm to me. I just got it a couple days ago. And that last round is super hard to get in, and I didn't have anything. I've left my speed loaders in there. But I really don't care to go and get them. It's not really that big of a deal. I'm just loading up 6 at a time. It's not really going to affect the test that much. So we're going to see how well this runs 115 and how well it runs 124. So I got my ears here, being safe, YouTube. We do have a live firearm, but we're being safe with it. So everybody, this is the 115 grain that I've got in here, just standard ball practice ammunition. And then the second magazine that we'll be shooting will be in the 124 grain. So I'm pretty sure I loaded up 6 rounds in both of these, even though they can hold 7 plus 1. So it really doesn't matter. So without further ado, let's go ahead and plink some, and we'll see how the 115 grain does. So here we go. I lost you there for a minute. The power of that 9mm dropped my camera. Here we go again. So that was 115 grain, and it ran pretty well. I didn't have any malfunctions. I didn't have my camera set at a good enough orientation. It actually dropped the camera there. But yeah, 115 grain ran pretty well. So no malfunctions. So this is kind of proving my theory to be correct. We're going to go ahead and load up this 124 grain magazine here, and we will see how it does. So let's get my ears back on. Hopefully it doesn't knock my phone over again. I'll edit that part out of the video so you won't even know it's there. Here we go. So 124 grain works just as well as 115. So I don't know. I don't know about all these comments, guys. Again, we just ran one magazine each. We're going to go ahead and load up some more. But, I mean, that's my theory's kind of proving to be correct. We're going to load up another magazine of 115 and see how it does. So we're just going to do 6 rounds. Not going to do anything crazy. So, you know, it kind of stinks that if it doesn't run 115, because, I mean, most people are going to be running 115 grain in their 9mm. I know that's what I run all the time. So, you know, if I can't run 115 grain, then I don't know. It makes the firearm a lot less valuable to me. So we're going to go ahead and very, very hard springs because these are new. So again, 115 grain. I'm going to go ahead and load this up again. Get my ears back on here. Hopefully it doesn't knock my phone over again. If so, I'll edit that out of the video as well. Told you guys in the last video, I'm not tech savvy. I'm an old school kind of guy. So we make do with what we have here on this channel. All right, here we go, guys. 115 grain, second magazine. Second magazine of 115, and it's running flawlessly. So, I don't know. Let's load up one more magazine of 124, and then we'll kind of end the video out here. So, again, my theory is proving to be correct. I don't know. Maybe it was a magazine seating issue for the people that have loaded 115. So, I don't know. I do know that these magazines are very stiff. I own a lot of pistols, and I think because they're so small, these magazine springs are crazy stupid tight. These things are very stiff. They're not even loosening up at all, so they're kind of hard to load. So maybe that's what's going on with a lot of you guys. I've never had this many issues loading a magazine before. Seems like this is the hardest magazine to load. It's crazy. But we've got 6 more rounds in here of 124 grain. We're going to go ahead and do our last magazine test. So here we go, guys. 124 grain. There you have it. 2 magazines each, both 124 and 115 grain, and we had 0 malfunctions other than the force of the 9mm knocking my camera down. So, my theory on that, I think it's because there's a magazine seating issue when you're seating the rounds. I didn't do an extensive test. This isn't like a 500 round review or anything. We don't have the money to go and spend like $300-400 on a bunch of ammo and test it, but I mean, 2 magazines each ought to tell you that, you know, it should run 115, and I got this puppy pretty hot, so it's, you know, it it ran like a champ. I was surprised that it ran that well. So, so can you run 115 in this? Absolutely. Can you run 124? Absolutely. Which one should you run? That's up to you. That's whatever you like. I personally like to run Hornady Critical Defense. Now, I might make another video on that, running another magazine full of 115 grain Hornady. So, does that answer the question? Can you run 115 or 124 grain in the Kimber Micro 9? Well, I have to tell you, we just ran it flawlessly. So, we didn't do an extensive, crazy, 100-round test on both 115 and 124, but we did what we had. So, yeah, guys, 115 grain works great. 124 works great. I think it's a magazine seating issue for most people, and maybe the way you're gripping the firearm or something like that. 9 times out of 10, issues like that, malfunctions like that, have to do with human error. Sorry, but that's true. It's just fact. Another thing I want to mention, so before we end this video, I've got a shout out that I'm going to do. So I got a good buddy of mine, good friend. His name is Jake Gabbard. He has a YouTube channel. It's called Gabbard Outdoors, and I will link it down in the description below. I'll also pin it somewhere if I can, but I will link it down in the description below. Highly recommend you check out his channel. He's got some really, really, really good stuff if you're into hunting, into fishing. He's into fishing a lot. He shows a lot of his gear that he's using for a lot of his hunts and stuff like that, his fishing trips. So highly recommend you check out Gabbard Outdoors. Shout out to you, buddy. You're an awesome guy. He's one of the most humble people I've ever met in my life. So shout out to you, man. Anyway, guys, that will be the end of this video today. If you've enjoyed the video, please make sure to slap that like button. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to slap that subscribe button and put notifications on so you get notified every time I make a video. So thank you guys for watching. Have a snazzy day.